We'll be starting our QuickBytes seminar in just a couple of minutes. I want to thank you all for coming to ProductSpace Solutions ArborText IsoDraw QuickBytes discussion today. My name is Nick and Bill is going to be our presenter. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to put them into the chat log and we'll be glad to get to them at earliest convenience. Again, ProductSpace Solutions could be seen on the web at productspace.com and our phone number is 630-495-2999. If for some reason during the presentation your video is not coming through, feel free to give us a note in the chat log. Right now you should be seeing the screen of ArborText IsoDraw illustrating service information. If you have any problems, please feel free to put in the chat. Just a minute or two more, we'll let a few more folks join. These are our weekly broadcasts that we do, and some of our topics in the past have included Pro-E Wildfire 5 and the latest developments, how it interacts with the social development inside of the wind chill applications. We also have touched on PDM Link, which is the central repository for data information for the engineers. We also have gone over Project Link in the past, which is an excellent communication tool for gathering information when it comes to holding projects on the timeline. And we've also gone over the wind chill product point, one of the newer developments coming through PTC for the wind chill applications based on the SharePoint server. Last week we covered e-learning, which was a topic that is an online e-learning access to PTC's multitude of different topics for users, administrators, and for those who are trying to learn more about the PTC suite of software applications. This week's topic is going to be ArborText IsoDraw, which ties into all of the topics that we've covered in the last few weeks. And we want to make sure that if you have any questions, feel free to put them into the chat log and we'll try to get to them at earliest convenience. At this time, I'm going to turn the presentation over to Bill Palm, and he's going to go into the topics of ArborText and IsoDraw. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Nick, and welcome, everybody. This is Bill Palm, as Nick mentioned. Let's get right to the agenda. The agenda for today starts with an overview of PTC and ArborText. We'll follow this with results of some feedback from customers about illustrations, challenges, and solutions for their information requirements. Taking a closer look at the technical illustration, it is important to learn how change in this area can have far-reaching benefits for the company and their customers. So let's start. PTC has revolutionized product development or product lifecycle management, or PLM, more than once. First with parametric modeling, where relationships are established among parts and assemblies to ensure changes are propagated throughout a model. Nothing like that had ever existed in product design before. Then with Windchill for PLM, the first web-based solution to manage a global product development process. Associativity in product data was a key driver of customer success. So PTC genuinely understood the value of integrated and associative services information processed for manufacturing and the aftermarket. Technical illustration was a keystone in this process. The information service solution extends PLM throughout the lifecycle of a product, integrating technologies and valuable product data to deliver the best-in-class illustration, authoring and publishing solutions. Information related to a product's assembly, use and operation, maintenance, and safety is also required through a product's lifecycle. We call that service information. It's intended to be available to a user, technician, or operator, and should be available for support and service tasks for the long-term performance of a product. So as we see from the roles within an organization, service information touches products at various points and in various methods through the lifespan of that product. Whether we look on our downstream users or on the product service information itself, technical illustrations are a key component to deliver valuable and easy to understand complex service procedures. And because the usability and performance of your products are essential to your overall organization's success, the actual quality and accessibility of service information directly impacts product revenue and performance. If we start with tying actual service information to the source of the product, that value is increased throughout the process of automating the creation, localization, and delivery of illustrations for service information. Because existing content stored and managed in your PLM or content management, reuse existing content stored and managed in your PDM or content management, use 3D engineering data to create associative 2D and 3D illustrations. Then directly link these illustrations in your documents created with the authoring system. All these documents and illustrations are connected to each other and to the product data to which they belong. Querying where these illustrations and documents are used is easily accomplished. Automating the translation, outsourcing process keeps control over the change made by the provider. A highly flexible delivery process allows you to determine how the information will be created. Depending on the purpose, the format, the task, the configuration, or whatever requirements you have, the information will be produced. Most companies today will continue to deliver service information through page-based and intelligent PDFs, but customers are beginning to demand further real-time access to critical information to support their processes. Let's consider your business opportunity to provide web-based, truly interactive service information. To ensure a common understanding of technical illustrations, it is important to highlight a few things. A technical illustration is not just a couple lines, creative art, or a photograph. A technical illustration has a clear requirement to convey complex information to end users so that it is easily and quickly understood. The time an operator takes to read and fully understand an assembly instruction on the shop floor can have a significant impact on your internal assembly costs and overall product quality. Insufficient illustrations in quantity and quality can add risk in service information, considering dramatic legal consequences that can arise from equipment damage, personnel injury, and lost production time. Technical illustrations often eliminate unnecessary details while adding specific graphical techniques and views to ensure the most information is quickly understood. This process can also help protect valuable intellectual property from piracy. More and more illustrations are used in interactive web-based applications. However, a printable version is often still required. Illustration requirements continue to expand, so you can expect further enrichment with links to descriptive textual information, intelligent graphics, or 2D and 3D animations. A picture is still worth 1,000 words today, and this should be kept in mind if translation costs are a burden. This example further highlights the technical illustration definition. The flat engineering drawing is understood by a designer or drafter, but it is not useful for a technician or a consumer. That's the reason why companies large and small around the world create illustrations like this. For example, why does a company like Liebherr create these quality technical illustrations? The answer is simple. Assembling a huge crane is a dangerous procedure. Of course, everything is not as dangerous as this, but it is important to consider products assembled and maintained properly will work as designed, which brings additional value and benefits to many areas of a company. These examples emphasize how illustrations explain complex procedures without words and can be used worldwide, no matter what language the end user understands. If this were explained with few illustrations and long textual procedures, you would have to consider all the end users who are assigned tasks may not be completely literate. So technical illustrations also help save translation costs while avoiding some legal liabilities. With this in mind, let's examine some typical ways that illustrations are created today and how they could be created more effectively. The typical as-is illustration scenario is affected by a gap between engineering design and manufacturing or technical documentation. To exacerbate the problem caused by this gap, they typically don't use a common information source. So the design and documentation or manufacturing processes are not in sync, and their revision and approval processes are completely disconnected from each other. Those with requirements to prepare technical illustrations often get information about their subject from designers who have designed the product without using 3D CAD or 2D engineering.